this video is for anybody who is missing the Homestead Animal Farm Post-Trip Reflection and Mini Project English Seminar for week 10. You need to start by going to Blackboard, which hopefully you know how to get to, but just in case you don't, I put in BB9 and it comes up in my past browser history. You'll click on Inspire. I have a lot more classes than you do, obviously. Then you will go over to here to the left-hand side, click English, week 10, November 2nd through the 6th, and this will bring you to the PDF. If you click that, it'll open it up looking like this. So, those of you following along in the classroom, this is the page that you should be on. Are you all there? Why did it stop playing up there? Boo earns. Okay, well, this is what you should be on. We'll just flip it around. So, I want you to just walk through the questions one by one, and then you're going to have spare time on your own to do the whole thing. So, looking at question 1, knowing what you know now, after having been to the Homestead Animal Farm, what changes did they likely make over the years and why? You need to list at least 2. Right? Why don't you guys take a minute to write down some changes that you think they made in the last few years, and then we'll talk out about it in just a moment. Yes, you should be putting this in Notability. Great question. And if I say list it, you can just do bullet points. That's totally fine with me. If it says write a brief paragraph, like the next one, you need to actually write a brief paragraph. So you've had a couple minutes to think, or maybe 90 seconds. What are some things that we think they've changed over the years? Okay, they added a corn maze, right?
Well, I was going to say, like, they added, like, entertaining things like that.
Okay, they added bits of entertainment.
Farms used to probably be more, like, serious. Not it's not serious, but it's more for, like, people come and visit.
Sure, the means of their profit has changed. So it went from being someplace where they did dairy and crops, and now they have a corn maze and other stuff. What else?
What about the animals?
Animals, great point. Do you think they're making lots of money off that alpaca?
You should know.
I hate that alpaca.
All right, the alpaca, they might be selling some of its coat, but probably not enough to actually make a profit. The profit is getting people to come and look at the alpaca and give them money for that experience. Sam?
The equipment they use on the farm.
Good. So the equipment that they use on the farm has definitely changed. They don't need a combine anymore for that small corn maze. They probably rent one or have somebody come in to make that. If you remember when we were there, they even had pictures of some of the old equipment, and some of the old machinery was actually around. They aren't using the traditional plow anymore. That would be ridiculous and very time consuming, especially since they don't have horses. So you should have at least 2 things listed there. Number 2, we're going to just kind of breeze over. This will be for you to fill in on your own. Do you believe that the farm changed its identity completely or only parts of it from when it was originally started? And yes, I know that was supposed to be a question mark. From when it originally started as a dairy farm in 1877 to now? Or do you think the identity is still essentially the same at its core, but just the look of the farm has changed? That's your opinion. You need to defend your answer, though, so you should have a good topic sentence, have 3 good supports, and a concluding sentence. Just a brief paragraph, 5 sentences is totally fine. We're going to breeze over that. Number 3 says, what changes to its identity do you think the farm may need to make over the next 50 years, and why? All right, so some people were struggling with this before. Think in terms of what could be improved. Looking at that farm the way it is now, if they're going to continue to make profit on it as a tourist spot, what could they add or what could they change to make it better? A roller coaster would absolutely improve the experience. Okay, what kinds of tourist attractions would still fit in?
I got one.
Okay, Jared?
Haunted maze ride.
Okay, maybe making like a haunted maze ride. So maybe they have something that goes through the actual maze. People are jumping out at you. That could be really cool. What else could we do?
Screaming like there's a scarecrow scaring people, even though there wasn't.
Yeah, that would be great. Annika?
Letting people feed the animals.
Yeah, maybe they sell little cups of feed and people can go through and feed the animals. Although I wouldn't, because they, teeth. Okay, so have at least 2 things listed there. Next is the mini project. Go ahead and work on whatever you have to work on for right now, because I'm in the middle of a video, believe it or not. All right, now is the mini project, and this is a summative assessment. We're going to walk through the questions, and hopefully understand by the end. So, number 4 says, choose a business with which you are familiar today and write its name and a brief description of what the business does below. It could be your favorite restaurant, a place where someone in your family works, a store where you often shop, etc. If your parents own a bowling alley, do the bowling alley. That'd be great. My example from first hour or second hour was Penzeys Spices. I love to go shopping at Penzeys. So if I was filling this out, I would write Penzeys, and then I would say that it's a spice shop that sells all sorts of spices for cooking and baking. Right? So really brief description. Do you guys want to go ahead and have a second to do that now, or do you want to come back to it? All right, we'll come back to it. Number 5, this is one that we can do together. List 3 possible and or probable events in our future. And when I say in our future, I mean as a society or as a world. What are 3 things that might take place in the next 50 or 100 years?
World War III.
Okay,
Flying
World War
cars.
III, you can put down. What?
Flying cars.
Flying cars, that's good. So technological
Are there
advancement.
flying cars already?
There are, but they're not legal.
I think we call them airplanes.
No, well, you know what? No, wait.
But
No,
I'm hilarious.
there is one
Yeah.
actually. There is one invention that somebody made. It's like a cross between an airplane and a car. I'll look it up right now.
I really need somebody to go get the book from the library. Where is my jetpack? It is such a good book.
Oh, I
flying
never read
car.
that.
That's,
Everybody invented it.
Exactly.
that is ridiculous.
Exactly.
That
Look,
is absolutely
see.
ridiculous. Okay, so technological advancements such as a flying car, World War III.
Flying car.
What about the environment? What things might happen in the future?
Every tree is gonna be gone.
Metal trees are not going to happen, but that's also a good
Every tree
opportunity.
is gonna be
will
gone.
happen. The nuclear waste that happened
For
from World War
deforestation.
III will.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
stop.
that happened. We wouldn't exist.
Nobody watching this video right now wants to be watching it after hearing metal trees. Is it
That'd be
safe to say
useless.
that there will be a drought at some point in the next
Yes.
100 years?
Isn't there already a drought? Or is
The
it
Great
I mean-
Depression squared.
Okay, so that we could plunge into a huge economic depression. We could actually go into major economic prosperity. So just 3 events all I want you to list.
We might build a wall.
Number 6 says, that's not funny. Number 6 says, how will these events impact the business you listed in number 4? Be specific and detailed. If you think something like a flying car won't affect Penzeys at all, you'll want to change that event. So for example, if I said there's going to be a huge drought, I might then say that as a result of this huge drought, my business, the business I chose, Penzeys, might be affected by not having
I do global
the.
warming.
Why are you interrupting? They might be interrupted. They might not have the crops coming in that they need to make their product. So they'd have to maybe raise up their prices because it would cost them more to be buying. Similarly, if we went into World War III and it was anything like World War II, people are probably not going to be spending their extra money on spices, so they might have to really drop their prices, or they might have to diversify their product. All right, Charles.
I do global warming for 1 of my 3 because
If you can make an argument about how it's actually going to affect your business, then
well,
yes.
if World War III happens, then the nuclear radiation in the atmosphere, we could blow a hole in the ozone.
Maze Runner?
Huh?
Maze Runner?
Not only, well, it wasn't based off of that, but now that you say it, it is true.
Goodness. Okay, so get creative with it, but you want to stay within the realm of reason just because look at number 7. It says, prepare to discuss these ideas in detail with Mrs. McLean during your next conference. You may schedule this conference with a couple of other people if you wish, so if 2 of you want to work together, that's totally fine, but realize that you'll be graded together. You'll have to make the same conference. You will be summatively assessed on your ability to engage in effective discussion and to support your claims. See the rubrics below. So, with using something like global warming and atomic warfare, I have to sneeze so badly right now. If you do something like that, you have to make sure that you stay within the realm of reason. Don't get crazy. Thank you. Oh my gosh, that was so much build-up. That was so gratifying. Don't get outrageous because you want this to still be a realistic simulation. But if you can make a reasonable argument for, I know that there exists nuclear warheads in the world and maybe they will be put off, et cetera, et cetera. You need to be reasonable about what the ramifications might be and how it impacts your business. So, looking at your 2 rubrics here. First, supporting claims. To get a 3 or to get a B, it says I can justify a claim with relevant and relevant evidence and provide an analysis of the evidence. That second piece, the analysis of the evidence, is what's really important. If you just sit down across from me and say, well, this is what's going to happen, bam, and nothing else, then that's not going to get you up to that 3 range. You really have to analyze what is going to happen in your hypothetical event. So, for example, if I'm talking about great economic prosperity in the U.S. and why more people would be shopping at Penzi Spices, I really need to say things like people would be making more money. With more money comes the ability to buy better quality items or specialty items. If my business is doing well because of the economic prosperity, then I would be opening up more locations, which means more people are buying. You really have to go in depth with that analysis. Finally, effective discussion. To get a 3 or a B on this, it says I can engage in discussion by relating new ideas and responding to others. I will be asking you questions. If you turn around and say, I don't know, that's or just ridiculous answers, that's going to lower your score though. Any questions on the expectation for this project?
What does it do?
One it is due is different for everybody. It is due the next time you conference with me. So if you scheduled a conference with me this Wednesday, I guess it's due Wednesday.
So if
Good thing I can't make it this week.
Then it's due the next time you can conference with me. Remember, you're supposed to conference with me once every 2 weeks. So if you couldn't get in this week, that's fine. Come in next week.
What if I can't get it for the next year?
Yeah, or 2.
Then I guess you're gonna end up with an IE on this.
No, it's your fault because we can't go to it.
Yeah.
Right?
You know, you guys constantly try to do this stuff. It's stupid.
It is.
Honestly,
It is.